Hi, I'm Linda May, and I'm the founder and Archdruid Priestess of Druids of the Light, and I'm also a reader here at Crystal Magic Psychic Center, which is where I am right now in Sedona, Arizona. And I'm here today to talk to you about this full moon period that we are beginning on Monday, September 20th, and it will be exact at 4:55 p.m. Arizona time, which is it's still Pacific Daylight Time at the same time. And it's also known as the harvest moon or the corn moon because of the time of the season it is. And as a result, it is about balance and abundance. So it's time for some real good reflection and gratitude about what we have accomplished and what we have gained in our lives. So as I've mentioned before, we have a full moon when the sun and moon are considered in opposition astrologically. So this means that both the sun and the moon are in opposing signs. And right now, the sun is just gonna be exiting Virgo, and it will be in Libra on September 22nd at 12:21 p.m. and which is exactly when the autumn equinox is, because that's how we identify when the autumn equinox is when the sun enters Libra. And the moon is just about to exit Pisces, and it will be moving into Aries at 8:13, just a few hours after it's opposed to the sun at 4:55 p.m. on September 20th. So a full moon is a time of bringing things to completion, and this is a time to realign with our spirit, soul, and self, especially at this particular full moon. So a full moon usually means that, and that, we'll talk more about the season in a minute, but basically the autumn season is sort of the same thing. So we begin to settle into a slower pace and a rhythm as we head towards the dark half of the year. So the sun in Virgo and the moon in Pisces both share an urge to be of service and devote ourselves to something more than just our personal journey or material security. So we really care about the greatest good. And a key message of this full moon is a reminder that we are all connected, that we are all one. And while Virgo energy is very grounded and detail-oriented, Pisces helps us to move into a more transcendent, universal understanding of the world. So it's a really nice, to me, it's like balancing heaven and earth. It's a time to find that perfect balance between the two. And this particular full moon actually also has astrological aspects to both Mercury and Jupiter, which bring about very strong feelings of optimism, generosity, good fortune, good news. It's all really wonderful things. We know that we can trust our intuition to guide us in changes to come at this time. Now, really enjoy this time with Mercury because it is going to be going retrograde by the end of the month, but that's also good for introspection, so it sort of fits with the season. And we are right now still in the season of Lughnasadh, which officially began on August 1st, and we're moving into the season of autumn, which I mentioned, and that will be exact on September 22nd, just 2 days after the full moon. So autumn is considered the second harvest season. There's always 3 seasons for the 4 seasons we know. There are 3 stages of those seasons in the Celtic calendar. So this is the second harvest festival, and it symbolizes the main harvesting of our crops and also the results of our projects, which will begun in the spring. And it's a time, like I said before, of balance, and that's partially because the day and night are of equal lengths on the day of the autumn equinox. And from that time going forward, the days will start getting shorter and the nights will start getting longer as we move into the dark half of the year. So this is really a time of Thanksgiving and the goodness, really appreciating all the goodness that all of this has brought us to, and that has brought us to these moments in particular. So, as I mentioned at the new moon, the traditional Celtic tree calendar is based on the moon cycles, with the new year beginning at Samhain, October 31st. And that system has this new moon period for the period of the September moon cycle, which started with the new moon, as the reed and the blackthorn. And this is based on this deck, which I use, the Celtic Tree Oracle. Okay, and the reed, which is really more about, this last period from the new moon and through now, the reed. And a key word for reed is health and healing, which actually is in alignment with the Virgo Sun, so that's very fitting. And the key word for blackthorn, which is the other card, And this is more from now until the new moon in October. And Blackthorn stands for transformation. So we are going through some healing, and that is helping us to transform into what's to come. So, and that's part of the transformation of autumn also, like the leaves changing colors and, you know, the leaves ultimately turning into fodder for new growth and all of that. It's just like what we do in our lives, whether we realize it or not. It's very much a mirror of that. So it is a time, needless to say, to let go of things that no longer serve and letting what's to come to just unfold naturally, because it will, and it will unfold for the best in the long run. So now I'm going to draw a Druid Animal Oracle for this period, and that's from this deck here, my favorite deck, Druid Animal Oracle deck. I've been using it for many years. And let's see what the Druid animal cards have to say to us about this period. So this is the full moon period from now till the new moon in October. And the card that comes up is the salmon. Okay, so this is really interesting because this is the salmon of wisdom. Salmon. And the salmon of wisdom is actually, the salmon in the Celtic mythology is known to be the oldest animal alive, and they contain all of the wisdom of the universe within them. So it really is about doing what's wise and in the best interest of everything. And with this card, actually the keywords to this card are rest and rejuvenation. So this is really awesome because it's basically saying, okay, you've done all the work, you've done, you've grown your crops, you've planted your seeds, you've grown your crops, you've been harvesting your crops, and now it's a time to just rest, rejuvenate, celebrate, and let it be, and take time for you, because it's really important. If we don't take care of ourselves, we don't have anything to offer to others. So it is a really important message to remember rest and rejuvenation. All right? And even the salmon, they know about hard work. They swim upstream to get back to their spawning place in order to lay their eggs for the next generation. So they do know about hard work, but they also know how important it is to take the time that they need to rejuvenate themselves so that they can continue to offer the wisdom that they offer to the whole world. And that's what we need to do so we can offer our gifts to the world also. And finally, I'll be concluding with a card from this Whispering Woods deck. I love this deck. I just love trees, what can I say? So the card that comes out for this period for us is growth, interestingly. So growth, even though this is a time of transformation and it's a time where all the crops are grown and we're harvesting, it says, the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. So this is basically saying that this time of rest and rejuvenation is preparing us for what's coming that's new. And it is just a matter of recognizing that this is all a part of the growth process that we're going through all the time. So I will be back again before the new moon to tell you more about that time. And in the meantime, if you would like to have a psychic soul reading, be sure to check out our website, crystalmagicpsychiccenter.com, www.crystalmagicpsychiccenter.com. And there you can actually schedule a reading online. You can schedule a reading on a calendar there, and it can be either a phone reading or an in-person reading. So if you want to make an appointment, you can right online, or you can also message me. And if you would like to know more about Druids of the Light, you can find us on Facebook as well as our website, druidsofthelight.org. And I also want to tell you that this particular, this Saturday night, September 18th at 5 p.m., we will be doing an autumn equinox ceremony on Druids of the Light's Facebook page. It'll be Facebook Live. You will be able to watch it after. I usually pin it to the top, so you can watch it for a few weeks after also. But do join us if you can. It would be wonderful to have you join us. And also, we will be having a presence at the Sedona Psychic Autumn Festival, which is on September 25th, and that is a week from Saturday. So that's a couple of days after the equinox, and check that out. You can check that out on our Druids of the Light website. Also, we have a blog post, Ponderings it's called, on our website, so you can get more details there, okay? And that will be right here in Sedona. So I just want to wish you many blessings of this full moon to you as you go into this period of balance and celebration.